until these trades are going to stop. So first, we got to talk about the crazy trade, man. This trade, I woke up the next morning, and you know, the first time I finally get on my phone, I'm checking stuff out, and I just see a lot of pictures of Luka in the Lakers uniform. I'm like, they trolling, they trolling. I'm like, they trolling. This ain't real. So I keep scrolling, I keep seeing it over and over again. Then I go to Google. You gotta go to Google. I googled it, and there was Lakers land Luka from the Mavs, for Davis, and 3-team deal. So I thought it was a joke, Dave. Dave, I did too, bro. I did. I thought it was April Fools. I had to check the calendar. You hear me? So in the trade, let's talk about what happened in the trade. So the Lakers, they received Luka Doncic, of course, Max Kleber, and Markieff Morris. The Mavericks received Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first round pick. And then we have the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz have just Danny Ainge, man. This guy, this guy's always in the mix some way, somehow. They received Jalen Hood, a 2025 second round pick, and another 2025 second round pick from the Clippers. So that was the trade right there. Now, off the break, you're like, whoa, hold up. Why are the Mavericks trading Luka Doncic, who is 25 years old, who is a top 5 player in this league, who is a top 5 MVP candidate every year, who is a guy that has his team in contention every single year, who was just in the NBA Finals last year? Why is he being traded? You have to ask that question because when you have a guy like a Luka, a guy like a Giannis, a guy like a Jokic, a SGA, you don't let those guys go. You hold on to those guys more than ever. And from what I get from this trade, the Mavs are just fed up with Luka, man. Now, I am one guy that has been very critical on Luka game. He is probably the most talented offensive player in the league. On offense, what can't he do? I mean, he's not athletic, but passing, he can pass. He can score anywhere on the court. He's tall, big. He can finish. He can post you up. He can shoot. He can do it all on offense. But it's the little things that matter to me. Holding the ball too much on offense. When James Harden was killing with the Rockets, getting 30-point triple doubles, you know what I'm saying? MVP Harden. I hated that game, that play style. You dribbled the air out the ball, and now your teammates are just spectators now. They're not involved in the game. So when you need those guys down the stretch in the playoffs, they can't, and you expect them to show up. It's like, how do you expect them to show up when you've been carrying everything the whole way? So that's one thing I feel like that the Mavericks organization looked at with Luka. You are an excellent player, but how better do you make other players around you? Because to be honest, when Luka goes out, it seems like the team plays better. Guys around play better. I remember last year, Tim Hardaway Jr. Soon as Luka got hurt, Tim Hardaway Jr. got hot because he was able to get touches. You need the ball in your hand when you're playing. So that's another thing. Another thing, his defense. I don't think Luka puts the most effort into his defense. We know that he's not the best at playing defense already. But when your effort isn't there at all, also, come on, man. You turn the ball over, you walk back on defense, complaining to the refs, all that kind of stuff. When you're the best player, you have to set the tone in all areas. That's just what you got to do when you're the best player. And it's one thing that the GM said, the GM of the Mavericks, he alluded to, they want to bring in guys that help change the culture, help guys that, are a part of the culture, guys that are going to, set the tone, set the culture. And when he said that, it made me think like Luka is just not a great leader. And they just chose not to stick with him. And it's very, very, very intriguing because of how talented this guy is. But your boy Vaughn been saying it, man. The dude like that, but he got to work on those intangibles, man. You got to. You just have to, especially in this NBA. You cannot hide on the court. There's nowhere for you to hide. Everybody can shoot, everybody can drive, so you cannot hide. It's not like the old days where they might stick you on a guy that just catch and shoot. No, everybody will put it on the deck on you now. Let's talk about the other side though. Anthony Davis. I mean, the Mavericks. Mavericks fans, I know you guys were in the uproar because you trade away Luka because you say you question, his will to stay in shape, his work ethic and then working out and all that kind of stuff, and you might think that's why he's injured a lot because he's also injured a lot as well. But then you go to a guy AD who's older, who gets injured just as much, if not more, than Luka, and you're going to rely on him. That's why I'm thinking like the Mavericks really wanted to get up out of this Luka situation because they could have got way, 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 way more than they got for Luka. They got one first round pick, Max Christie. Like, what? For Luka? Like, no. That's the part where the Mavericks, I'm like, all right, y'all could have did a little better, but it seemed like they really wanted to get off of this guy. And Anthony Davis is a legit top 3 big man in the league. You want to say top 4? I don't know who y'all got over him, but top 3 for sure. The dude can defend at a high level and he can score at a high level. It's just, will his motor be there every night? With Kyrie and Klay now being the leaders, how will this work? These are 3 guys that have never led a team on their own, like far in the playoffs, nothing like that. Kyrie won his first ring with Bron. Klay was with Stephen on boys, even though he was a big part of it. AD needed Bron to get his first ring. So now all 3 of these guys are on one team. It's going to be very interesting to see how far they can go because this isn't a bad team. Kyrie, Klay, AD, that's not a bad 3. If Klay can get back on track a little bit more, which I think this move helps him a lot as well, you don't have a guy out there dominating the ball. So this is very interesting, man. Not only just because who got traded and how it got traded, because all the sources are saying Luka didn't know, AD didn't know, Luka's manager didn't know. They said Danny Ainge didn't even know what was going on until 20 minutes before the trade's about to happen. And he couldn't even do nothing. Yeah, he's the Jazz GM. This is very interesting, man. We never had 2 guys averaging 25 points or more traded for each other. This is new. Luka is top 3 in points per game in the regular season. This is history. It's not just last year, history. And he's second in points per game in the playoffs. And they traded away him. So it's something going on. So it's either A, the Mavericks were very smart. They did the right thing, got from under Luka because they don't have to pay him the max, 350, 360 million, something along those lines. They don't have to pay him that much. And they're saying, we don't trust this guy. We don't trust that this guy is going to be ready year in and year out for us. He's the guy that we should invest in for the future. Now, if it ends up them being right, him being like kind of like a Zion type of thing, where he's always hurt, not really. We're gonna look back and say, the Mavericks did that. But if it folds, and AD, I don't wish no injury on nobody. Hope everybody stays healthy. So I want to see the best of the best. However, if somebody like AD or Kyrie goes down, they're gonna be looking back at this trade. No, not even at Kyrie. AD. If AD goes down, you're gonna get a lot of criticism for this trade for sure. So it's very interesting. And one last point I want to make, because I feel like this was a move for the Mavs to really just get from under Luka, bro. Like they really didn't want him on their team with the franchise, because now that you traded him, because you could have paid him and then traded him, but instead you traded him, so now he can't even get the max, the super max no more because of that. Also, he goes from Texas, no income tax, to LA, which is one of the highest income taxes. It's ridiculous. Like this move has lost Luka so much money. When in the past, you've seen organizations give guys like Luka what they want. They look out. They look after them. Like they look out for them. Even though they parting ways, they still look out for them. This was like the complete opposite. This was like, all right, we got an opportunity. Let's do it now. Let's get him out of here. When are you gonna let him know? We're just gonna do it. And it's very intriguing, man. It's very intriguing for us, a guy in Luka. So, right now the Lakers they've been playing some good ball with AD in and out the lineup. They're 28 and 19. They have an 8-2 record in the last 10 games. So they've been playing pretty well. Last game they beat the Knicks. LeBron rewind the clock and 30-point triple double, which is crazy because I took him for a triple double the game before. I believe they played the Wizards, and then he do it the next game. It's crazy, but it's very interesting, man. And then we got the Dallas 26 and 24. They've been very up and down. Luka also has been out the lineup. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games. Having AD changes a lot. He wants to play the 4. They got 2 centers for him. So this might be exactly what AD needed and what Luka needed. You're with LeBron, a guy that can show you how to be a true champion on and off the court, how to work out and prepare your body, be ready for a long season. You know, he's Mr. Iron Man. So we're going to see how things unfold, though, for sure. We're going to definitely see how things unfold. Kyrie is my guy. So I got faith in the Mavericks. You know, we just need Clay to reel back time a little bit and bring back that old Clay. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think in the comments about the trade. It was very blockbuster for sure.